people gather, getting their cups of tea and so on. So nice to see you. There's somebody's kettle.
That's a nice kettle, Jenny.
Jenny, we like your kettle.
Very Buddhist.
And there's Jenny.
Hi, Jenny.
It's quite nice to be introduced to people's kettles first. So welcome everyone joining in. Really good to see you. Let's see some names that we might.
Robert, recognise Robert. Hi, Robert.
Who else have we got coming in? There's Kim, Linda. Hello, Linda. Hi, Josephine. Hi, Jess. That's great. So there's.
Hi, Charlotte. Charlotte saying hello. Yeah, you can say hello to us in the chat box as well if you like.
Yes, and you can. Can they unmute? People can say hello.
No.
They can't unmute, apparently.
You can wave enthusiastically.
You can wave enthusiastically and you will say your name. And,
you could write in the chat box. It's very nice to hear where you're from.
Yes.
We can see your names, which is good, but you can say your name, where you're from.
So yes, let us know, especially, and let us know if you're new in the chat. Let us know if you're new to
if you're new to meditation or to Buddhism. That's really, really nice to hear. Oh, there's Padrag, our regular. Hi, Padrag. Nice to see you.
Good to see you from Belgrade. Yeah, so let us know, particularly if. So we've got the London Buddhist Centre, the Dublin Buddhist Centre, the Berlin Buddhist Centre, and Sheffield Buddhist Centre, all doing this together.
Yeah. So
you might want to let us know if you're connected with one of those centres. Say that you're in, or you might be from somewhere else. You might Pedrag's from Belgrade, for instance. I'm hoping to see Nina from New York, and there'll be people from over the world possibly. So let us know where you're from as you tune in. So we've got Gordon from Chiswick.
Hi, Gordon.
Good to see you.
Claire. Hi, Claire.
Robert from sunny Elephant and Castle. I'm surprised it's sunny. Yeah, so welcome everybody.
Oh, lots of people saying hello in the chat. Very, very nice. York, Limerick. Oh, Alice's camera isn't working. Oh, sorry not to see you, Alice. Yeah, if your camera is working, do switch your camera on, because it's really, really nice to be able to see each other. It gives us a feeling of being in the shrine room together. So do switch your camera on if it is working.
Apparently in teaching it's becoming really difficult to teach because nobody will turn their camera on. I was talking to my partner's daughter, she said, absolutely not, I'm not going to turn my camera on.
Oh, at school you mean?
Yeah, at school, she was saying, I know, I'll be in my pyjamas, I couldn't possibly let people see my room.
You only have to get dressed from the waist up.
Yes,
so that's
I just have a neutral background, we haven't got that. But, so welcome everyone, Maitri Das is there, Phil, hello, I've not met you before.
Tim's in Los Angeles.
Oh,
how exotic.
Wow. What time is it in Los Angeles, Tim?
2:30 a.m.
Oh, good heavens. What are you doing up at this time?
It's an early morning start or a late night.
Yeah, so which is it? Edinburgh as well, that's...
And Cork. I saw Dawn was saying she was new to meditation, so really warm welcome, Dawn.
Can we flick through the screens again a bit more so we can see some others? There's Miriam, hi there.
Oh, there's Esther. Hi, Esther. Nice to see you.
Hello, Esther. Natalie, hello. Ben, I like your roof, Ben. Very, very kind of rustic. Nice to see that. So welcome, everyone.
And we've got Suzanne from Berlin. Welcome from Berlin. Oh wow, Liz from Tasmania.
Oh, that's
amazing.
Great.
Welcome.
Welcome, Liz. Hello, Emma Taran. That's nice to see you again. Haven't seen you for a long time, so nice to see you. Francois.
How do you pronounce that?
Where?
Wiesbaden. Wiesbaden. Thanks,
Wiesbaden.
Wiesbaden.
We do have German tech. There's Richie. Hello, Richie. Good to see you. Good to see you, Berlin, as well. Yeah, everybody tuning in. There's nearly 300 of us so far. There's Callum. Hi there, Callum. Nice to see you again.
There's another 50 on YouTube as well.
Oh, and 50,
another
on
50
YouTube.
on YouTube.
Oh, yeah, so really warm welcome if you're streaming in from YouTube. You can also say hi in the YouTube chat.
Yes, that's right.
Loads of opportunity to say hello.
So you've got people streaming in now from all over the world on Zoom and on YouTube. So that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's great. Wow, 290. Oh, it keeps going up to nearly 300 people.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
Great.
Yeah. Nice to have
So
you all here.
particularly warm welcome to anyone that's new to meditation, new to Buddhism, new to the London Buddhist Centre, new to online technology.
New to Zoom.
Yeah, new to Zoom. Yeah, let us know where you're zooming in from. You can use the chat. So that's great.
Oh, there's Sarah. I recognise Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Nice to see you all. Nice to
Ah,
see some wave. Do wave at us. Okay, there's 350 of us on Zoom at the moment and another 50 or so on YouTube. So that's
wow.
great. Hi there, Adrian. There's John as well. John Brazier. Nice to see you again. Nice to see you again.
Yeah, so really, really warm welcome if you're just joining us. We're just saying hello. Me and Mitra Band were just making small talk
Yes,
at the start.
It's like those kind of breakfast television things when
Yeah.
they sort of chat at the start.
And we'll get started soon. But let's just let a few more people join us.
Yeah. Hi there, Dougie. Good to see you.
Patrick hasn't got any sound. I wonder if we've got Michael and Britta here doing the tech, so I wonder if they might be able to message you to help you get your sound working.
The people from YouTube, you could encourage them to go onto Zoom.
Oh yeah, so if you're watching on YouTube, why not join us on Zoom? Because then we can see you and you can join our breakout groups as well. So if you're on YouTube, how do they get the Zoom link? Oh, Britta, who's behind the camera, has posted the link. So yeah, if you're on YouTube, do try and join us on Zoom because then it can be a bit more interactive.
There's Ben again. Good. Hello, Ben. Hi there, Lucy. Who else have we got? Paddy.
Moira.
Where else have we picked people? We got someone from Pinner, someone from Edinburgh.
Oh, Arya Saki from Andalusia. Very
Andalusia,
nice.
lovely.
Just about to pass our biggest ever total.
That's good.
Great. 501 people.
Oh, someone from Cleethorpes. That's nice. There's nothing wrong with Cleethorpes, is there?
Where is it?
It's one of those names that you know, isn't it? Cleethorpes. Oh, is it? That's where Dream of Cardigan's from. Yeah. Okay, so welcoming. We're still getting a few more people, quite a few more people zooming in. So we'll just start in probably just a minute. And yeah, really lovely to see you all. Various people on sofas. You always get these little views, don't you, of your house? Bits of a shelf, bit of a window, a neglected pot plant here and there. So nice to meet. Oh, some toast, thank you. Usually you get a selection of animals as well, but we haven't had dogs yet. But there's a certain point on these Zoom calls where you suddenly see various pets appear. They sometimes seem to be taking more notice than the actual people. But so very nice to see you all zooming in. So we've nearly got 600 people on Zoom now, and 80 on YouTube. So hi there, Ruby. Nice to see you. Thomas and Amy. James. That's great. Nick. That's great.
Yeah, very, very nice to see you. Wow, and the numbers keep going up, 620 people so far. So you definitely wouldn't all fit in the shrine room at the LBC.
No.
And it's really nice to have people from all over.
Yeah, really, really nice. Okay, I think we probably better get started. The numbers are still going up. We've got to nearly 650 now. So I think it's the biggest ever call we've done from the London Buddhist Centre. So really, really good to see you all. We're sorry that we can't. It's sometimes when we're smaller calls, we can get people to unmute themselves and say hello and have a bit of a chat. But we're 677 now. That's going to be a bit tricky. So you have to imagine that we're having a chat to each and every one of you individually and welcoming each and every one of you individually, particularly those of you who are new to the London Buddhist Centre, new to Buddhism, new to meditation, new to the Meditation Challenge. So in a moment, I'm going to hand over to Pranyamanas to officially sort of launch the challenge. I want to just say a few kind of organisational things before we start, because it's just good to get some of those basics in straight away. So the first one, actually, Garavati was saying earlier on that if do turn your videos on if you can in everything you turn up for. You only have to be respectable from the waist up, but it's really helpful for us, and it's really nice. We wanted to try and create a community between us all, This isn't sort of Buddhist television or meditation television. We want us all to be interacting as much as possible. So yeah, if you're at all willing, do turn on your video so that we can all see each other. That's really lovely. And do that as well in the morning meditations. We'll be having morning meditations 6 mornings a week, at 8 a.m. So do turn your videos on. It's all right being in your dressing gown with a cup of tea.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there? So yeah, have your videos on if you can. And then we're trying to establish a bit of a sort of chat etiquette. So what people have very different feelings about the chat box. Some people like to chat a lot, and some people really don't like to chat. Yeah. So what we'd like to do is not have the chat on whilst we're either meditating or whilst somebody's doing a presentation or something. Yeah. That's a bit slightly distracting. So not just for the teachers, but sometimes for everyone. So if we can have that kind of chat etiquette, there's lots of time to chat as we're zooming in at the start. We'll always zoom in a bit earlier so you can say hello to each other, and we'll chat to you at various other times. So do use the chat. It's a really good way of getting to know each other and starting to get connections with each other. But yes, let's try not to chat during the meditation. Otherwise, it is a bit like opening your eyes in church. So let's try not to chat during the meditation. But yeah, do have the chat on at any other time apart from when we're teaching. And it's fine some of you are still having your breakfast, and that's fine. I caught you, Sarah. We were introduced to someone's kettle earlier on, which was something I could do with a cup of tea myself. So the other thing about the chat is, of course, we are trying to make it so that we can all get to know each other. So we've got a Slack room especially for the challenge, with channels for Ireland and Berlin and Sheffield and London. There's all sorts of channels on it. So what I'd really recommend is you join the Slack room. If you look at the email sign up, you'll see a little video about how to do that if you don't know how to join Slack. It's a really good way of getting to know each other. We've been using it quite a lot recently. So particularly, you might want to just say something today or tomorrow, introduce yourself, just say a few things about yourself. Some people have been doing that typing with the usual emojis, which is sort of age-related emojis. If not, you might want to do a little tiny selfie video and just introduce yourself, where you're from, if it's the first time you're in a challenge, so that we can start to get to know each other. We can use the Slack as our chance to talk to each other. Yeah? And then the other thing I wanted to mention was, if you can, the sign-up email you had yesterday, I think, the confirmation email with all the events on, I'd really recommend that you watch Nyana Vargas's talk before Monday, if you can. So he gave a wonderful talk called The Transcendental Context of Meditation. And we particularly wanted him to give that talk so that as we're going into meditation, as many of you are going to be learning meditation, hopefully many of you are going to be experiencing meditation for the first time. We want to really be clear what our context is, the sort of Buddhist context, the transcendental, the wisdom context of meditation. So you'll have that video. It's been sent to you already. If you haven't, just mention it on Slack and we'll repost it. But do try and watch that before we start meditating together on Monday. That would be really, really great. Yeah? So it's a really good introduction to what we're trying to do with the challenge and what we're trying to do, Buddhists are trying to do. You don't need to be a Buddhist, but what we're trying to do, our perspective on meditation. Yeah, that's a really good introduction to that. And then finally, in terms of announcements, just as if you're under 25 and you haven't applied for the mentoring scheme, you can still apply for that. Or if you know people who'd like to be on the challenge, they can still sign up for the challenge. The sign-ups for the challenge won't close. So if you know anybody that you think actually they'd love to be on this, you can just send them the link and they can still sign up for the challenge. And if you're under 25, we're offering people under 25 a weekly mentoring session with a member of the Triratna Buddhist order, just discussing how you're getting on in your personal meditation, just 15 minutes every week. But so if you're 25, we're offering that as part of the challenge. So some of you might not know about it. If you don't, I'll Oh yeah, so our wonderful tech crew have already posted the link, so you can register for that, and we'll be in contact with you. And then those of you under 25, at the end of this, our launch just now, you'll be then being zoomed off onto another call where you'll be meeting all the men and women who are under 25, talking about that element of the project, the mentoring element. Yeah? So if you haven't signed up to that, that's all right. At the end, we'll post the new Zoom link for the next under 25.
A link to register for
A
it.
link to register. Okay, that's what we're
Yeah.
doing. I'm glad that's clear. Okay, so that's all the little kind of etiquette things, really. Really, really good to see you. I'm going to hand over to Pranyamanis, who's going to launch us into the next part of the challenge.
Yeah, lovely to see you all.
Okay, hello from me. I'm Pranyamanis, and yeah, very, very good to see you all. Very exciting, actually, to be here. Well, I'm sitting here in the London Buddhist Centre main shrine room, and there's a sort of bank of not 2 but 3 laptops just over here beside me, and not just lights on stands, but one of those lights that's got an umbrella stuck in it, like from a photographic studio, because Maitreya Bandhu, rightly enough, is deeply concerned to get the right tones and hues in our shrine room. So it's exciting to be here, and Michael and Britta are helping us this morning, and lots of other team members dotted about. Well, mainly it's exciting because what that allows is for this many of us, I've lost count now, but somewhere between 800 and 900 people are joining in with something whose context and deeper meaning is really huge, huger, I think, than we can imagine. So it's not just community building, it's not just warming and fun and meaningful. It is all those things. But we are kind of getting together like this to look upwards towards what might be the ultimate meaning of life. So that's why it's particularly exciting that this many of us are joining in. So I'm going to kind of kick us off partly by saying, or getting some others to say who we've got here, because we're streaming from London in the little box you're watching me in, but we've got 4 centres joining in with this. We've got London, Sheffield, Berlin, and Ireland. So in a moment, what I'm going to do is get somebody from each of those centres or areas to introduce themselves, say a little bit, and say hello to all the people from their region or city. But yes, I also wanted to echo Maitreya Bandhu's recommendation of Nyana Vargas' talk on Monday night. I've just finished watching it this morning, and I was particularly excited and a bit awed by that exposition of Nyana Vargas of the transcendental goal of meditation. And if I can be so crude as to summarize it in a sentence or two, what he was really saying was that meditation is about so much more than basically feeling better. Meditation in lots of ways will make us feel better, and in lots of day-to-day ways will improve our lives. But he was setting the bar not just higher, but like I say, unimaginably higher, to say we can aim ourselves via meditation really at something that is ultimate, for want of a much better word. So do watch it. He's done a fantastic job of setting the real context for meditation. And for whatever reason we come to meditation, the best reason for carrying on, and maybe what it is in meditation that we're responding to ultimately in ourselves when we feel any urge to come to a Buddhist centre or tune into one of these sessions or sit down to meditate. So I'm very, very pleased he's framed the whole thing like that. And like I say, very pleased that we're all getting together to participate in that vision and step a little bit closer towards it. Okay, so a few introductions now. I don't know exactly how this is going to work, but I think in this order I'll call out Dharmasara, Bodhinaga, and Jnanadhara for their respective regions, and they'll say a little bit more. And after that, we will do some meditation. But first of all, why don't we hear from Dharmasara in Berlin?
Hi, yeah, that's me. I hope you can all hear me.
Tell us a little bit about Berlin, or a little bit about.
Can you all hear me?
Or just introduce himself, say hello. We can't hear him.
Can you not hear me? Hi,
Okay.
everyone can hear me. Okay, well, everyone else can hear me except you.
Okay, so maybe that the rest of you can hear Dharmasara in London. We can't yet.
It's a bit like those news shows, isn't it? We're now we can hear him in London. Okay, I'll just talk, and the LBC has to catch up with me somehow.
No, we can hear you now.
Oh, good. Okay, I'm here. Well, so my name is Dharmasara. I'm sitting here in my bedroom in Berlin, Kreuzberg, or rather the more presentable side of my bedroom, and. I'm here, well, I'm presenting the Buddhistische Store Berlin, which means the Buddhist Gate Berlin, which is a center here, Schratner Center in Kreuzberg. And here in Kreuzberg, we lead meditation classes, both in English and in German. So this is a really good opportunity for us to join in internationally, because we are really a hub of international people. So our bit, the Wednesday night, is going to be led by quite an international team of people. So we have Tanya, Fabian, Martin, and Amy going to lead. Wherever they are now, you can wave. Maybe you can see them. But anyhow, I just want to invite everyone who's joining in, not only from Berlin, but I've seen people from Wiesbaden, from other parts of Germany as well, who've signed up. So maybe you can just all wave into the camera so we can get a sense of who's here from Berlin, Germany, or somehow associated with the Berlin Center. Oh yeah, I can see a few waves. Great. Well, very great you're here, and hope to see more of you soon. I think that's me.
Great. Thank you, Dharmasara. Yes, and you remembered to ask everybody from your corner of the world to wave, which I'm going to ask Bodhinara and Jnanadhara to do as well at the end of their little introductions. So let's go now, if we can, to Bodhinaga in Sheffield.
Hi, Panyamanis and everybody. Can you hear me? Good.
I can.
Good. Yeah, so hello from me. I'm Bodhinaga in Sheffield. And yeah, it's great to see lots of friends from Sheffield here on Zoom. So hello to all of you. And as of a couple of days ago, I think we had over 100 people signed up from Sheffield. So I think at least 60 of those are people I've never met before. So that's really exciting. There might be people who are new to meditation, new to the Buddhist Center, never meditated before. So I hope you guys get a lot out of meditation, and hopefully we'll see some of you at the Buddhist Center when we can, and some of our intro courses coming up in February. So yeah, so we could give you a wave. I don't know if people want to go into gallery view and see lots of Yorkshire people waving. I know there's people from Doncaster and York and Leeds as well. So let's have a Yorkshire wave. No one knows what a wave is, but
Okay.
hello.
Good. That was almost as good as the Wiesbaden wave, as well as the Berlin wave. Yeah.
I'll just give you a nod from Yorkshire. For Yorkshire, we just nod our head at you. That's probably what we're doing.
All right, okay.
Nod their head.
We've had the Wiesbaden wave and the Yorkshire nod. Good. So let's go to Jnanadhara in Ireland.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, I can now. Yes.
Oh, very good. Okay. Hello from Dublin. There's actually, well, it's in a way hello from Ireland, because I've seen several people chatting in from all parts of the country, and even one person, Elizabeth, who's from Dublin but's in Philadelphia right now. So hello, Elizabeth. And I think at last count there was about 180 people booked on from Ireland. So I don't know how many of you are here, but welcome to you all. And yeah, it's a very, very cold morning in Dublin. We've had frost on the windows and frost on the roofs, and a wee bit of snow yesterday. So it's very, very frosty, but beautifully clear. And yeah, I'm just really, it's lovely to see so many people tuning in this morning, and I've enjoyed looking at all your faces on the gallery view. And yeah, I just really delighted that we can be part of this. I'm very grateful to the London Buddhist Centre for organising everything and getting everything together. It's really shaping out well. So anyway, yeah. So maybe everybody, if you're from Ireland or from Ireland living somewhere else, maybe you could give an Irish wave, however that looks. Lovely. Oh, great. Fantastic. Yeah. So I'll hand back to you, Pragnyamanis, and yeah, hello from Ireland.
Good. Thank you, Nyanzara and Dhammasara and Bodhinaga. That's great. Yeah, of course, part of what the pandemic has facilitated is being aware of our Sangha beyond what we can see without the aid of computers. It's very exciting to have this kind of spread of our Sangha joining in together. So thanks to the Yorkshire Nod and so on, we've had a little bit of a taste of that. I forgot to say, by the way, that we've got 900 or so people tuning in now, but that in total sign-ups for the meditation challenge, at least when Michael and I were having breakfast upstairs and he checked his phone, we had 3,040 people signed up. So there are twice as many again who you may see over the next 3 weeks. So we'll probably keep saying hello and giving Yorkshire nods and so on to make sure that everybody's welcomed. Okay, good. So yes, it's always good not to talk too much about meditation without actually doing some, and that is what we're here to do. So I'll lead a short meditation now. Just to put a break between what we're doing and the next bit of the session, to help us kind of settle and just get a little experiential taste of some of the things we've been talking about. So if a team member doesn't mind dimming the lights, I'll just lead us in a little 10-minute meditation. You don't need to have meditated before. You just need to sit comfortably, reasonably upright, with something to support your hands. A blanket or a jumper or a cushion if you don't have anything else. So just sit comfortably and upright. With the back straight but not rigid. And you could dim the lights wherever you are, or just close your eyes. And you might want to take a few deeper breaths in and out, just to help the body relax a little. And then start feeling the weight of your body as it goes down into the cushion or the chair beneath you. And see if you can relax into that a little and feel firmly rooted in your posture. So sitting securely. But without holding too tightly. So as well as feeling the contact between your body and the cushion or floor, you could try just ungripping in the hips and thighs. A place where we often hold tension unconsciously. And see if you can soften in the belly as well. That might just mean allowing the breath to move freely. So you could feel the belly and chest as they're moved by the breath coming in and out. And that whole area of the shoulders and upper back and neck, where we're hunched a lot of the time, you can just let all that soften now. Perhaps imagining that it's the breath that's softening them as it passes in and out of the body. You could soften the hands and arms and make sure they're just sitting heavily, not being held up. And again, just feel the whole trunk of your body as the breath gently moves it. Finally, the head and face can soften. We've got nothing else we need to be doing now, no expression we need to wear. So we can just withdraw slightly from that, leaning forward, tensed state, that ready for action kind of state. And see now if you can just keep a gentle background sense of the body, of the whole body. And feel the breath pass in and out. So just following a few breaths now. And there's two things we can do while sitting following the breathing like this. One is just to see what the atmosphere is like in the mind while we do that. Or you could focus on what's around the center of your chest. and see what you can tune into there. All while doing this very simple exercise of following the breath in and out. So to bring this short meditation to a close, we can just relax the attention away from the breath. And just tune back into our overall sense of the body in whatever room we're sitting in. And open our eyes and come out of the meditation. Good. So I think we will go into groups now, but for more on that, I will hand over to Subhadramati.
Good. Okay, good. So thanks very much, Pranyamanas. And really, really warm welcome from me to you all. It's so exciting, actually. Wonderful to see you all. I'm delighted to be part of this challenge. So yeah, what we're going to do now is have a chance to start introducing ourselves to each other in groups. So before I say more about that, again, I'll just encourage anyone who's tuning in on YouTube to, if you want to, switch on to Zoom, because then you'll have a chance to say hello to a few people and just start to get to know each other, because you need to be on Zoom to do that. So yeah, do that. The team will just post the link for you to do that and you can just join in. So what we're going to do is, we're going to divide into groups. They're going to be quite big groups, and actually it'd be a miracle if it even works at all, because I'm told that we're at the absolute limit of what even Zoom can do with this many people, which I find quite exciting in itself, that we've taken Zoom to its limit. So we're going to go into groups. There might be as many as 20 of you in your group. It's always funny on Zoom. It's that moment you don't know who you're going to be in a group with. There might be a few people you know, but there might be, people you don't know, and especially if you're new, You won't necessarily know people. But it's a slight, at least 20, although it's quite big, it's a bit smaller than 1,000. So it's a chance for you to get to say hello. So basically, it's just a sort of hello ritual. So what I suggest you do is somebody just start and just say 3 things. Just say your name and say where you're from and say one thing that you hope to get from this challenge or one reason that inspired you to sign up for this challenge. And then when you've said that, just nominate the next person, yeah? And then they can unmute and do the same. And hopefully there will be time for everyone to say that. We'll have about 20 minutes altogether for the groups. As a matter of fact, there was a little sheet of paper that told me the timings, but it seems to have disappeared. What time are the groups meant to end? What time are the groups meant to end? We just find out what time the group's meant to end. So,
You're okay, just give it 20 minutes, that's fine.
Okay, fine, great. So, good. So, let's see if we can make that happen. And then after the groups, we'll all come back together and we'll just hear from a few individual people. Obviously, there won't be time to hear from everyone and not even from each group, but I'll just randomly select a few people and see if you're willing to share that. But for now, just be in your group. So it's just say your name, say where you're from, but particularly say what's inspired you to sign up to the challenge, what you hope to get from the challenge. So somebody's going to press a magic button and let's all keep our fingers crossed that actually the groups really do work. So if you're not familiar with Zoom, all you need to do is just accept the invitation to join a group. And then you'll be magicked into the group. And who knows who you'll be with. You'll be with people, somebody from the other side of the world, or you might be with your next door neighbour. It's like, you never know. So I think the magic button's been pressed. Apparently it might take a few attempts, but I've been told that it will happen in the end. So Michael's kind of looking very concentrated. He's our tech team, trying to see if this will work. So keep our fingers crossed. And while we're waiting, you could just be thinking perhaps of what, particularly what you hope to get from this 21-day challenge. Particularly what's inspired you. How's it going, tech? Oh, Michael's shaking his head, oh dear. He's looking worried, he's scratching his chin and shaking his head. So let's give it a few more minutes. Oh, Britta's making some suggestions. So hopefully we can get you into some groups. If we can't, don't worry, we've got plan B. So yeah, some people are still joining from YouTube, so it's all happening at once. Yeah, let's just, Michael's still shaking his head. Is it going to work?
I don't think so, I think it's too many of us.
Too many of us. Oh my goodness, we've defeated Zoom. Is it worth another try, or should we go to?
Keep trying.
Keep trying. Okay, we'll try just for another minute, and then we can just, if it doesn't work, we just hear from a few individual people. Massive whispering going on behind the scenes.
I think there's too many of us.
Too many of us. Well, that is quite good. People making suggestions. So, yeah, and then people who
finish the groups now, time-wise anyway. So.
Okay. Oh, we're supposed to finish the groups time-wise anyway. Okay. Well, so we didn't manage the groups, but don't worry because there is chance to introduce yourself in smaller numbers. So that's exactly what the Slack Lounge is for. So don't worry. So sorry you didn't get to go into the groups, but do make sure you're signed up to Slack. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to ask a few people that I've just kind of randomly looked at your names And if you'd be willing to share those things that I said, what your name is, where you're from, and what's inspired you to come on the challenge. If you don't want to, that's fine. You can just indicate that. So first of all, I was going to ask Danny from London. So the team are going to unmute Danny. That's Danny, D-A-N-N-Y. If Danny would be willing to say hello. I've started with someone who's a fairly good bet. So, okay, so if you can just invite Danny to unmute himself. Yeah, is that possible? Yeah.
Okay,
good.
am I unmuted?
You are, we can hear you.
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Wow.
so go on speaker view if you want, and then you'll see Danny. Maybe I could go on speaker view as well.
Gosh,
Hi, Danny.
chosen out for 700 people. Hi, Subhajamati. It's nice. Great to be on with so many people that we've broken Zoom. So hi everyone. My name's Danny. I live in South London, and I go to a London Buddhist centre. And tomorrow I'm actually moving there, so that's exciting as well. Yeah. So I think the reason I've signed up to the challenge is probably like obviously people live in different areas, but in London, in the UK, we have gone into another lockdown. So I'm spending a lot of time inside, which I can kind of feel has a kind of compression effect on my mind, and I think meditation is really going to help me with some of the difficulties of the current situation we're in, and not just help me, I think, but also hopefully I can be a better person for the people around me, the people I'm living with and the people I'm in contact with. So yeah, really looking forward to it.
That's great, Danny, and I'm delighted you're coming to live at the LBC tomorrow. I knew you were coming, but I didn't know it was tomorrow. And actually, you've said some brilliant things, Danny. So you've said two things I just wanted to draw out. Just that the situation we're in can feel like our minds being compressed. It's being compressed by the actual situation. Also, like fear is a great compressor of the mind and heart, and in a way, people are very nervous. I know my family are, when they heard that London was a state of emergency, they were, phoning up to make sure I was okay and everything. And fear tends to sort of compress us and sort of reduce our scope, whereas meditation, especially one of the meditations some of you know we'll be learning on loving kindness, expands the mind and heart. So meditation is a direct and the best, I believe, antidote to fear and feelings of compression, as Danny knows, because you've been meditating for a long time. And the other brilliant thing you said, Danny, was just that you're here not just to affect you, but to have a positive effect on people around you. I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? It's a bit like, it's a bit like, I just suddenly thought we could be like a positive virus, the sort of that virus index of how many, that 1 in whatever 4 thing. Like imagine if we did that with loving kindness and mindfulness. If each of us could just have that positive effect on 2 or 3 people around us, and then each of them that rippled out, we'd create a very, very positive atmosphere around us that has got a capacity to spread. Just as viruses have got capacity to spread, loving kindness has got that capacity. So that's really good. Thank you, Danny. So how about, I hope I'm pronouncing it properly. I've seen your name many times, Gurdeep, in Port Talbot. Would you be willing to say hello? So if the team could unmute Gurdeep. It's G-U-R-D-I-P-E. Good. Are you there, Gurdeep? In Port Talbot? No, can't find Gurdeep. We found him. Are you willing to say hello, Gurdeep? Will you be able to unmute him? Or would you rather not? Maybe let us know. What's that?
I think we should go to the next person.
Okay, go to the next person. Okay, how about Julie Morgan from Ireland? Would you say hello to us, Julie? Sorry, Gurdeep, I don't know if we couldn't get you unmuted or if you understandably didn't want to say hello to 1,000 people. That's fine as well. Julie, so Julie Morgan. Can we find Julie?
Hi.
Hi, Julie.
How are you? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you. I can't actually see you, but I can hear you, but that's good enough. So Julie, what's inspired you to come on the challenge? You're from Dublin, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm from Dublin, and I was just listening to Danny there, very, very inspiring, and he got me thinking about, first of all, I'm just always inspired by the connections that you make with people through these courses, and particularly with lockdown. I've been in isolation for a couple of weeks because I actually have COVID, but I am coming out of it now. And yeah, I think fear is a big thing, and meditation, absolutely, I think is just a tool that we all need in order to connect more with others, you know, and to feel that, you know, there is another way of being for humanity. So it's very inspiring, this course, and I loved the summer retreat and connecting with the other centers, and have a real sense that, you know, we're crossing borders, and internationally through Zoom we can create a very powerful, beautiful community.
Great, thank you, Julie. That's great, isn't it? Just lovely to have a vision of what we can create, and actually what we're, you know, I feel we've already started to create it, haven't we, this morning? That's really, really brilliant. Thank you, Julie, and I wish you well. I didn't realise you were ill. I really wish you on the road to recovery. Yeah.
I will say one more thing. I also, I do believe meditation boosts your immune system for sure. So I'm doing it for myself as well.
Okay, great. That's allowed. That's great, Julie. Thank you. Okay, so I spotted somebody called Suzanne from Berlin. So let's see if we can find Suzanne, and if Suzanne would be willing to say hello. I'm not sure, actually. There's probably a few people called Suzanne. Let's try one of the Suzannes. Maybe if you are Suzanne from Berlin, you could put a little hand wave sign on if you're willing to talk, and then we can find you.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm here.
You're here, Suzanne. Great. Hello.
Here, and I'm really sorry I have no camera.
Okay, well, you can just talk to us, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I hope my English is good enough.
It is. We can hear you.
Pardon?
We can hear you.
Yeah.
So what's inspired you to come along, Suzanne?
It was mainly the same reason as the others. I have not enough contact. I feel a bit lonely. And I need a bit of discipline. That's my main reasons.
That's good, isn't it? Discipline is sometimes a bit of a sort of word people aren't sort of, it's got a bit of bad press in a way, but I think it's a very, very positive thing. I think a lot of people have been saying that one of the things that's happened during the pandemic is their usual structures have gone awry, you know, they've lost that. And that's, you know, that can be quite difficult. So I think coming on something together, it can provide structure, and it can provide discipline even. It can provide support, in other words, to know that, you know, when you're meditating at 8 o'clock, you know, maybe 500 other people are meditating together with you. So I think that's a really, really good reason to join in with something together. I was talking to another little study group that I run last night, and someone was saying something a bit similar to you, Suzanne. They had lost all the structure in their lives, and it was getting them down, and then they joined the LBC's winter retreat, and they said almost within hours, if not minutes, they immediately felt reinvigorated and re-inspired. So I hope that happens for you as well, Suzanne.
Yeah,
and
I'm
others.
pretty sure, and I really enjoy being here now.
Yeah,
I had a
good.
lot of podcasts before, but in the moment, that's the best way for me, I guess.
Okay,
Thank you
good.
very much.
That's lovely to hear from you. Thank you very, very much. Let's just hear from a couple of more people. How about Davina? Davina, I saw as somebody looking very keen at the beginning. Is Davina willing to say hello? I don't know if I know you, Davina, but I just thought you looked very enthusiastic. Can we find
There we
Davina?
go. I think I'm unmuted.
Okay, great. Hi, Davina.
Hi, how's everyone?
Where are you
Yeah.
from?
Well, I'm from Surrey, but I'm actually living in Dublin at the moment. So, well, I say at the moment, I've been here for the last 4 years. So, yeah,
Okay.
kind of Irish. Yeah, so I guess what inspired me to join is like I've been meditating on and off for the last decade or so, and I just through the lockdown it was just everything felt like it was spiraling so fast, like my world became so small, and it was just work was the main kind of spiral, and I just felt like I was losing touch of being grounded. And with that, all the positive practices, again, the schedule, everything kind of went. And over Christmas, had that kind of 2 weeks break and just listened to what my body was saying and just really got into that regular practice. And yeah, I'm living alone at the moment as well. We're in lockdown, and I just thought, you know what, it's going to be really nice to have a community and to connect with people who I probably wouldn't otherwise. And just kind of go through that process and just really committed to just trying to look after myself, my mental health, and just kind of do the things that I know that I should be doing and I'm not necessarily doing. And I think just the resistance around meditation that sometimes crops up, just trying to make my practice less I guess regular and more consistent, just so that I'm just, it's part of life for the rest of my years, in essence.
Okay, that's really good, Davina. And I think we'll probably be revisiting during the course of the challenge something you talked about, which I'm sure nearly everyone experiences. We know what we should do. Nobody really needs to talk us into that meditation's a good thing and some regularity in our lives a good thing. We know that, but we know it intellectually, but strangely, that challenge of how do we enact that is very elusive to most of us. So that's something, well, that's just part of sort of human nature, I think. The Buddha talked about that 2,500 years ago. So we, it's something that we really will be addressing during this challenge. Bhante Sangharakshita is our own teacher, those of us who are in the Triratna Buddhist order. He said the Dharma life, the Buddhist life, is trying to find emotional equivalents for our intellectual understanding. And I think in a way that's what you've said, Davina. We all know what would be good if we did, but how do we get our whole selves on board with that? And actually coming on something like this is a very good step in doing that. But there's even more that we'll be bringing in through the challenge. So thanks very much, Davina. And thanks, that was really, really great to hear from a number of you. And I'm sure that between everyone we've heard, I'm imagining that represents quite a lot of the reasons why others of you have come on this challenge. And of course, as we keep saying, do share that on the Slack lounge. Either you can write something or you can do a little video of yourself, just introducing yourself, saying why you've come along to the challenge and what you hope to get from the challenge. So I think next it's Nyana Vargas, is that right? So Nyana Vargas is going to be really launching us into how to, even more deeply, how to be on this challenge together. So I'm going to slide off, and Nyana Vargas is going to come into my place. And then after Nyana Vargas, it'll be Satchidasa, will be Garavavati. There's no someone that will be Garavavati. Then it'll be Satchidasa, and that'll take us up till about 12 o'clock. Yeah. Okay, good. So over to Nyana Vargas.
So hello from me. Wow, it's lovely to sit in front of this big monitor with all the little boxes and seeing your faces. So thank you, Subhadramati. And yeah, welcome from me. So I want to say a little bit about how to get the most from the challenge, and in a way what meditation can be, what we're really trying to do. So we're going to be offering quite a lot of support during the next 3 weeks. So, for example, there's going to be 2 meditations a day, and if you can commit to doing both of them, that you'll really feel a cumulative effect. Meditation is very much a cumulative thing. It also, I think, it works in a way that isn't always obvious. So when you meditate, when I meditate, I sometimes think, oh, nothing much is happening. Sometimes a lot seems to be happening, sometimes not much. But it's not really in the actual sitting that meditation sometimes reveals itself. It reveals itself over time in your life. And for that to happen, you've got to do it consistently because it has a cumulative effect. And for example, if you can meditate twice a day, I don't know, it's mysterious. The cumulative effect is more than just twice as much. You get more from it than you'd sort of think. So for example, we're going to be offering meditation at 8 o'clock every morning, at least 6 days, well, 6 days a week. The 7th day, you're sort of on your own, but I'm sure that most of us can, in a way, commit to meditating on our own for that 7th day as well. So in a way, you will be imaginatively in the company of this whole community, this community of meditation. But on those 6 days, we're going to be leading you in meditation from 8 o'clock in the morning. If you're new to meditation, you'll go into a particular Zoom link, and somebody will be teaching you from scratch, but not just teaching you the basics. Over the 3 weeks, they're going to take you deeper in how to meditate, particularly these 2 practices that we do in Triratna, which are the mindfulness of breathing and the metta bhavana. One is very much about developing awareness, and one is working on emotional positivity, how to open the heart in the way that Subhadramati was talking about, how to overcome fear. So you'll be led in those, guided through those meditations. If you're familiar with those 2 practices, then there'll be another group of us who will be meditating together, and each day you'll be getting a little bit more teaching to take you further in those practices. Meditation's like an art. You never stop learning. You never stop learning. There's always more to explore, because in a way what you're doing with meditation is you're exploring, and not just exploring, but working with transforming the mind. And the mind is endlessly fascinating. It's endlessly rich. It's got more potential than most of us have any idea about. And meditation is a direct way of transforming the mind. I mean, what I mean by that direct way is that you're using your own mind to transform your mind. Yeah. So it's endless in terms of learning. So every day we'll be teaching you a little bit more about how to go deeper in meditation, looking at it from different perspectives. So that's at 8 in the morning. At lunchtime, like 1 o'clock, you've got an opportunity to meditate again. And as I say, if you can do it twice a day, it will be really effective, very, very effective indeed. Also, first thing in the morning, there's yoga at 7 in the morning. There'll be a yoga practice. It's really important to not just see meditation as somehow divorced from the body. When we say mind in Buddhism, it's not just your it's not from the neck up. It's mind is actually an embodied phenomenon. Buddhism doesn't draw this hard distinction between mind and body. And yoga is one way of indirectly working on the mind, but primarily, through the body, you work on the mind as well. So if you can start with some yoga at 7 in the morning, that will then feed into your meditation at 8 in the morning. So it's 7 to 7:45. And then in the evenings, twice a week, on a Monday evening, on a Wednesday evening, we're going to be offering more teaching. On a Monday, we'll be here at the London Buddhist Centre. We'll be talking more about Buddhism and the Buddhist context for meditation. Because Buddhism is not just, we don't have a word for it. It's not just a way of life. It's not just a philosophy. It's not a religion in the ordinary sense of the word, but it has something of a transcendental goal. It's saying that our minds, our consciousness is capable of expanding in a way that takes us beyond our normal notion of who I am and what the world is, who anybody else is. Consciousness is, well, it's sort of impossible to talk about, but it doesn't have the boundaries that we normally sort of imagine it does. It's limitless, it's endless. So on a Monday evening, we're going to be talking about how you work with your mind from a Buddhist perspective, and meditation's an intrinsic kind of part of that. And then on a Wednesday, there'll be more opportunity to hear about meditation and how you work with meditation. Now, on a Wednesday, you've got a choice. Because you can tune in to your local centre where there'll be a class for people from that local centre. So if you're associated with the Dublin Centre or with the Sheffield Centre or with the Berlin Centre, you can tune in with your local Sangha, or you've got the choice. If you're, of course, associated with the London Centre here, then tune in here. And if you don't feel that you've got, one of those centres as your main kind of Sangha, then just tune into the London Centre. So on a Wednesday, we've got the choice of meeting in a smaller number. And on a Monday, we'll all tune into the London Buddhist Centre. But there's one more thing I want to say. Well, no, a couple of more things to say. If you can commit to as much of the challenge as possible, you'll get more from it. I've already said that. But also in your everyday life, you can support your meditation practice. You can support it particularly, I think, by looking at reducing distractions in your everyday life. So, we're all going to have to do other things, cook, work, eat. Maybe you'll be meeting with people. Hopefully you can go out for walks and exercise. But a lot of the things that I find myself doing, they're not needed. Reduce the amount of time on social media if you can, apart from the Slack channel. The Slack channel is going to really support you, but Facebook won't support you. Probably won't support you. I don't think Facebook supports you at all, actually, in whether you're meditating or not. So reduce the time that you turn on to tune into the news, for example. You might need to know what's going on in the world, but a lot of the time, frankly, it doesn't sort of enhance our mind. Reduce the time that you watch trashy television. I might recommend certain things that you do watch. So, for example, yesterday I was watching a wonderful documentary on Netflix called Surviving Death, which is looking at near-death experiences and talking to people who've had near-death experiences, talking to medical practitioners who are researching into what happens after we die. That sort of thing will, I think, enhance your experience of meditation. But I don't know what else there is on Netflix, but a lot of it won't. So be judicious in what you allow into your mind, because it'll affect your mind when you meditate. Yeah. So as well as trying to be disciplined about turning up, see if you can be disciplined outside of the formal practice sessions, and reduce unnecessary input that's just going to clutter your mind in an unhelpful way. Look also for beauty. I know we're restricted, so many of us, to being inside, but look for beauty. What do I mean for that? It's like look with the eyes that see beauty in the world. Meditation opens those eyes if you allow it to. There's so much beauty in the world around us. Look for that. Look with the eyes that see beauty. That will support your meditation practice. On the Slack channel, share your inspirations. Share your questions as well about meditation or Buddhism, but also share your inspirations. We have an inspiring effect on each other. Share your sort of successes as well as your struggles, and allow each other to sort of form a community on Slack. That will support you. That will really support you. What I was thinking about, one of the things the Buddha said is that all Buddhist practice has the same flavor, the same taste. It has the taste of freedom. And particularly in this pandemic, so much of our external freedoms have been taken away. And it's very easy to feel that our lives have shrunk. And there's so many rules to look out for. And then so much fear in the world, in the atmosphere around us. All Buddhist teaching is talking about freedom, but it's not the freedom to do what we like when we like. The Buddha said that, well, in a way, you didn't need the Buddha to tell you this, that we can't control everything that happens to us. The external world is very often beyond our control. So it's not that sort of freedom that Buddhism gives you. What it gives you is freedom of mind. It gives you freedom of heart to respond to your experience creatively, to respond to your experience with awareness, love, with the eyes of beauty, to respond to even difficult, really challenging experience with a sense of equanimity, with a sense of perspective, with a sense of positivity, that life is, it's beyond us, it's bigger than us. It's not something that we can sort of be in charge of. And yet there's something very beautiful about just being alive. The potential for life is within. It's not to do with curfews and whether you can go out and whether you can meet in large numbers or not. Real freedom is a freedom of responsiveness in the heart. So even if you are feeling sort of cramped and curtailed and restricted in your life, which so many of us are from an external perspective, what this challenge, this 21 days, I hope will enhance for you is a real sense of freedom, a real sense of freedom. And with that freedom, there will be a sense of life, of being alive, and life being a precious thing, a beautiful thing even when it doesn't work out, even in the face of sickness, even in the face of death, even in the face of loss. There's something magical going on. Look at this documentary, watch this documentary, Surviving Death. Very, very moving to hear about these near-death experiences, people clinically dying, having an experience that is wondrous, beautiful, magnificent, full of love, and then coming back transformed. Sometimes they've just been dead for minutes. They come back and they never sort of can see life in the same way again. They see something with new eyes. It's very, very beautiful. And meditation can do that. You don't have to wait for a near-death experience. You don't have to wait for death itself. You can start to see life for what it is, with the eyes of love and beauty and real freedom. So I hope that together we'll be able to do that, individually and together as a community. As Subhadramati was saying, we have this ripple effect on the world. Consciousness isn't just limited to our heads, to the physical body. And I think that's a really important contribution to be making right now, both, for ourselves, but for the world. The world needs this sort of perspective, this sort of freedom, this sort of positivity. So I really hope that you'll get the most from the challenge. I'll be seeing you either on Slack or on Zoom at some points. And I just want to really wish you well and say well done for starting 2021 with this really positive challenge. So I'm going to hand over now to Garvavati, who's going to say a little bit more.
Thank you, Nyana Vargas. It's so great having Nyana Vargas because he's got this amazing cosmic vision of human potential and meditation, but you also get a really good movie recommendation or Netflix recommendation at the same time. So it's really, really good. So I just wanted to say just a bit more about the vision of our Buddhist centres. Nyana Vargas was talking about how meditation these practices, the Dharma, the teachings of the Buddha, they can expand the mind, expand the heart beyond our imagination, actually, beyond what we know of ourselves, beyond a small, narrow, tight, afraid version of ourselves, into something which is beautiful, something which is limitless, something which is beyond ourselves, which connects us. And actually really drawing on what Julie was saying and what Danny was saying about how we can so easily feel afraid and things can so easily feel confined and how that's quite contagious. But actually positive emotion is also contagious. And as we work on ourselves individually, especially when we do this together in large numbers, it's so great to have about over 800 people with us. When we work on ourselves in large numbers to expand our minds, to expand our hearts, to try to really understand what life is truly for, we build a momentum. We do that together. So we need to practice for each other and with each other. And it really, really will have a positive effect for ourselves and for the world. So that's our vision. And it's wonderful because we're realizing it, aren't we? We're crossing borders, we're connecting with each other, and it's such a lovely atmosphere just in the shrine room here. We're so excited, the team's really excited, and we're here because we want to challenge everyone. Actually, we want to challenge you to commit to meditation, and we also want to challenge ourselves. We want to reach out to as many people as possible, which I really feel like we're starting to do, and we are doing that this morning. So that's our vision, and the only issue with that is that, well, it's great that we're online, but it does mean for all of our Buddhist centres that we've had to close our doors, and we can't run retreats in the way that we normally would. We can't be welcoming people into the Buddhist centre in the way that we normally would. We've lost a lot of our usual income. So we want to offer these teachings for free, but we also want to invite you to give, so that we can keep on giving. So we really, really want to give these teachings. We're challenging ourselves to reach as many people as possible. And you can help us to do that if you give to our Buddhist centres. So we're asking you, if you can, if you have the means, give £100 or €100, depending on where you are and what currency you operate in. It will really, really help us to live out this vision, to communicate to as many people as possible, this vision which is beyond fear, which is beyond something small and narrow, it will help us to really reach out to as many people as possible. So we do offer these teachings freely. That's part of the vision. We want to reach as many people as possible. But if you have got the financial means and you can give to us, do give. And we want, in the chat box, Michael's posting how you can give to us. It's very, very simple. If you're in Ireland, you can give to the Dublin Buddhist Centre. And if you're in Germany, you can give to the Berlin Buddhist Centre. And when you click on the link, you'll see how to access those different places. If you're not affiliated with those places, then you can give to the London Buddhist Centre. Good. So, I'll be seeing you bright and early on Monday morning if you're joining for yoga. So I'm challenging myself by getting up at 6 a.m. in midwinter to teach the yoga classes. And I really, really look forward to seeing you as well in the meditation classes. So I'm going to pass over to Satchidasa, and he's going to kick us off ritually in our challenge.
Thanks, Gauravati. We've had a lot of kicking off, haven't we? So this is the final kick-off. The sequencing itself really kicks off. Hi, yes, and you've actually met all of the people who are going to be teaching newcomers and regulars in the morning as well now. So my name is Satchidasa, and it's great to be with you. Hello. So we're going to finish with a ritual, which is a ritual we often do at the beginning of our events. If you've not joined us before, I'll tell you a bit about what that is. It's quite short, and then we will, we'll really have set forth. So first of all, though, just on a practical point, after this meeting, to remind you of your sub 25, we'll be having a meeting that will start at 12:15, straight away after this, almost. And if you want to join that and you haven't yet signed up, there's still opportunity, and Britta or Michael will put the link again in the chat box. So if you want to join the mentoring scheme, there's still a possibility for that as well, for the sub 25s. Right, so here we go. We're setting off. This is the bit where you've decided to go swimming. You've looked out your trunks, and you get to the swimming pool. You're in the changing room, and you start to think whether this was such a good idea after all. Of course, when we set out to do something, we're often not wholly behind it. Maybe you signed up for this and you thought, yes, I definitely want to do that. But of course, as Gauravati was saying, it means we're getting up in the morning, and regardless of whether you're a regular meditator or you're completely new, we all have those mornings where there's a bit of resistance to practice. So this is a ceremony which hopefully will help us dedicate our efforts. So really, first of all, just dedicating what is the reason, reflecting on that, the reason why you've set out to do this. We've heard from some people, just honouring that by really giving ourselves a chance to participate as much and as fully as we can, really saying, yes, I'm going to do this. We're also dedicating the place, so quite literally the physical space that we're in this ceremony. So you've set up a place in your bedroom, your lounge, or wherever. You've beautified it in some way. You've set aside a space. So you're dedicating your physical environment and your resources and your time. You're dedicating yourself to this practice. And also, in a deeper sense, what we're doing is we're creating a mandala. We often talk of ourselves around the Sangha as being part of a mandala. And a mandala is ultimately a big circle, a ritual circle. But the meaning of a mandala, what always happens in a mandala is you set up a quality or an ideal or something in the center of the mandala, and that fans out and affects how we live. That fans out and affects us in just the way that Nyana Vargas was talking about our life taking shape around an aspiration. So that's what the mandala is, a beautiful image of, it's a beautiful image of that. Yeah. So, so it would be like if you were an athlete and you would be, going running to become fit, but actually, your whole life would start to take shape around that aspiration. So we're a mandala, and the mandala is also a kind of magical space as well, or it's a symbolic space. So there are at the very edge of the mandala, there's a ring of fire. There are 3 rings. There's a ring of fire. And the fire symbolizes that transformation, that change. we step through the flames into the mandala, we're saying, okay, let's be open to change. Let's really put ourselves into this. Yeah. And inside that ring, there's a ring called the wall of the diamond thunderbolts, another Buddhist symbol. And that's the energy that we need, the determination to break through those mornings when the ground is a bit frosty. You don't want to get up. We do need that determination, that discipline. And then inside that, there's a ring of lotuses, open flowers, which is another kind of image, another kind of energy, much more mysterious in some ways, what the lotus represents. But that's, we also, as well as the determination, we need that sense of beauty, that sense of opening and receptivity to meet our experience each day. So these three great rings that are around in Buddhist mandalas, as they're pictographically represented, they are always there, and we're within that. Okay, so and within that, and in the heart of that, are for Buddhist practitioners the three jewels of Buddhism: the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, and that's what's creating this mandala. So we're all in a mandala together as we do this 21-day challenge together. So this short ritual that I will lead us through is about that. And it's about us saying we're really going to try and give our dedicated effort to this for the duration. So the way that it's done is that I will do it in call and response. I'll read out a line and then you can repeat the line. And I'll leave a space for that, and the one or two people in the room will echo me. And we will end with the mantra of the Buddha Shakyamuni. So you can imagine the Buddha is right at the center of the mandala. It's this the Shakyamuni Buddha, the historical Buddha, and the ideal Buddha here. And so the sound is the sound going out into the world. And you might not have come across it before. You'll please join in. It's quite straightforward, or you can just listen if you wish to listen. Then we'll close, and just before that, I'll invite you to come off the mute and say goodbye in a crazy fashion. Have I missed anything, Maestro Bandhu, do you think? Okay, good. So let's dim the lights and just have a brief pause before we begin the ritual. So as you find a comfortable, upright position to sit, seeing if you can connect with what was your inspiration for joining this event. You saw the advertising, you heard it from someone, and you thought, yes, I wish to do that. So the dedication ceremony. We dedicate this place to the three jewels.
We dedicate this place to the three jewels.
To the Buddha.
To the Buddha.
The ideal of enlightenment to which we aspire.
The ideal of enlightenment to which we aspire.
To the Dharma.
To the Dharma.
The path of the teaching which we follow.
The path of the teaching which we follow.
To the Sangha.
To the Sangha.
The spiritual fellowship with one another which we enjoy.
The spiritual fellowship with one another which we enjoy.
Here may no idle word be spoken.
Here may no idle word be spoken.
Here may no unquiet thought disturb our mind.
Here may no unquiet thought disturb our mind.
To the observance of the 5 precepts.
To the observance of the 5 precepts.
We dedicate this place.
We dedicate this place.
To the practice of meditation.
To the practice of meditation.
We dedicate this place.
We dedicate this place.
To the development of wisdom.
To the development of wisdom.
We dedicate this place.
We dedicate this place.
To the attainment of enlightenment.
To the attainment of enlightenment.
We dedicate this place.
We dedicate this place.
Though in the world outside there is strife.
Though in the world outside there is strife.
Here may there be peace.
Here may there be peace.
Though in the world outside there is hate.
Though in the world outside there is hate.
Here may there be love.
Here may there be love.
Though in the world outside there is grief.
Though in the world outside there is grief.
Here may there be joy.
Here may there be joy.
Not by the chanting of the sacred scriptures.
Not by the chanting of the sacred scriptures.
Not by the sprinkling of holy water.
Not by the sprinkling of holy water.
But by our own efforts towards enlightenment.
But by our own efforts towards enlightenment.
We dedicate this place.
We dedicate this place.
Around this mandala.
Around this mandala.
This sacred spot.
This sacred spot.
May the lotus petals of purity open.
May the lotus petals of purity open.
Around this mandala.
Around this mandala.
This sacred spot.
This sacred spot.
May the Vajra wall of determination extend.
May the Vajra wall of determination extend.
Around this mandala.
Around this mandala.
This sacred spot.
This sacred spot.
May the flames that transmute samsara into nirvana arise.
May the flames that transmute samsara into nirvana arise.
Here seated.
Here seated.
Here practicing.
Here practicing.
May our mind become Buddha.
May our mind become Buddha.
May our thought become Dharma.
May our thought become Dharma.
And may our communication with one another be Sangha.
And may our communication with one another be Sangha.
For the happiness of all beings.
For the happiness of all beings.
For the benefit of all beings.
For the benefit of all beings.
With body, speech and mind.
With body, speech and mind.
We dedicate this place.
We dedicate this place.
Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Shakyamuni Swaha. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Shakyamuni Swaha.
Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Shakyamuni Swaha. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Shakyamuni Swaha. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni
Shakyamuni Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahami Shakyamuni Swaha. Om Muni Muni Mahami Shakyamuni Swaha.
Good. So we're definitely off now. And why don't we just say hello to Britta? If you come around and stay over here, and Michael, if you come over here. We've got a big tech team supporting us on this event. And these are our tech team tonight, Michael and Britta. So thank you very much to you. And thank you to everyone who's joined in from various parts of the world, from the different sanghas and centers. And yeah, well, we're off, and it's wonderful. Let's have a great few weeks. So let's come off. So just to say, the meeting will start at 12:15 for the sub-25s, but to give us a little break, let's end it there. And so do come off. Michael, if you could take everyone off, and we'll have a cacophony of goodbyes.